Hey everyone and welcome. So, you've built your application on DynamoDB, and yeah, it's lightning fast, but what about all that amazing data that's just sitting inside it? Today, we are going to talk about how to unlock its full potential.
Look, your users are getting those single-digit millisecond responses, which is awesome, right? But then your analytics team comes along and wants to run a really complex query. Or maybe your data scientists want to train a new model. Suddenly, things get complicated. So how do you actually get those insights out without grinding your entire application to a halt?
And that right there is the core challenge. See, application databases are optimized for one thing and one thing only: running your app fast. And what that means is your data often ends up in a silo, trapped. It makes it incredibly difficult to use for analytics or machine learning or even just simple archiving without building these clunky custom data pipelines. But here's the good news. DynamoDB was never meant to be an island. It's really designed to be a central hub that connects seamlessly with the entire AWS ecosystem. And in this explainer, we're going to walk through exactly how you can build those bridges.
Okay, let's dive into our first big challenge. How do we run complex analytics on our live DynamoDB data without totally tanking our application's performance? The goal here is to get your data into a powerhouse data warehouse like Amazon Redshift. The modern way to do this is with a feature called Zero ETL, and honestly, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You can forget about building and managing those painful extract, transform, load pipelines. This is a fully managed, literally no-code way to automatically get your DynamoDB data flowing into Redshift, ready for analysis. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because you've basically got two paths to get your data into Redshift. On the left, you've got this new, shiny, automated Zero ETL integration. It's perfect for near real-time analytics, and, this is huge, it has zero performance impact on your table. On the right, you have the classic copy command, which is great for a big, one-time bulk load. So you just have to ask yourself, does my team need to see what's happening right now to make quick decisions? If so, Zero ETL is your answer. But if you're just doing a big one-off analysis for, say, a quarterly report, the copy command might be all you need.
Okay, so that handles analytics. But what if your needs are even bigger? I mean, what if you need to process just massive amounts of DynamoDB data, maybe even join it with data from other places?
For a job that big, the tool you'll want to reach for is Apache Hive, running on Amazon EMR. And here's the real magic trick. You get to query your live NoSQL data using a language that looks and feels just like the SQL you and your team already know. You don't have to move the data first. You query it right where it lives. It's incredible. And the workflow is actually pretty straightforward. First, you just spin up a processing cluster on EMR. Then, you create what's called an external table. Think of it like a shortcut or a pointer that just tells Hive where your DynamoDB table is. And that's it. You can now run these huge, massive-scale SQL queries on your DynamoDB data, and EMR handles all the heavy lifting in the background. All right, let's switch gears and talk about something every developer has to deal with: data lifecycle management. You know, at some point, you're going to need to archive old data for compliance, or maybe move data between different systems. And for that, we turn to the universal storage layer of AWS, Amazon S3. So, the connection between DynamoDB and S3 is really a two-way street. You can export a snapshot of your table right to S3. This is perfect for backups or making that data available to other cool services like Athena for querying or SageMaker for machine learning. And then you can also go the other way and import data from S3 to create a brand new DynamoDB table, which is a lifesaver for migrations or just setting up new dev environments. And this right here is the single most powerful feature of that whole import process. See, normally, writing a ton of data to DynamoDB costs you. It uses up your write capacity, and it can slow things down. But when you import from S3 to create a new table, it costs you zero of that provisioned capacity. It's a total game changer. It means you can load terabytes of data incredibly fast without ever worrying about performance throttling or getting a surprise bill. Okay, finally, let's tackle one of the most critical topics for any application developer out there: security. How do you give your web or mobile app the permissions it needs to talk to your DynamoDB table safely? I mean, this is the classic dilemma, right? You absolutely cannot just embed your secret AWS access keys directly into your application's code. Because if those keys ever get exposed, and let's be real, they probably will, it's a massive, massive security risk. So, what's the right way to do it? This slide just lays it out perfectly.
The old, dangerous way was hard-coding permanent keys, a total security nightmare. The modern, much smarter way is to use Amazon Cognito. Cognito basically acts as an identity broker. It authenticates your users, and then it hands your application temporary, short-lived credentials with very limited permissions. This means you never have to embed a secret key in your app, which is a huge win for your security.
So when you put it all together, you can see that thinking of DynamoDB as just a standalone database is really missing the bigger picture. It's a central hub that connects your data to this entire ecosystem. You can unlock analytics with Redshift, you can process big data with EMR, you can secure it for the long term in S3, and you can ensure safe access with Cognito. It's really the core of a powerful, interconnected data strategy.
By building these connections, you're not just storing data anymore, you're activating it. You're making it available for new insights, new models, and totally new applications. So the final question I'll leave you with is, what new possibilities are just waiting to be unlocked in your data? Thanks for joining me.